Welcome to Go Access. Today I wanted to share an article from the National Center for College Students with Disabilities Clearinghouse, and this article pertains to graduation, which is approaching for a lot of colleges and universities across the U.S., and I thought it would be helpful to kind of talk about different ways to make the events accessible for people with disabilities. The article highlights, first off, looking at the environment and how you can make the environment more accessible for people with disabilities by having things like accessible parking and accessible shuttles that are wheelchair accessible, thinking about the paths and thinking that you want everything well lit. You want to make sure that the paths are wide enough and well paved and smooth for people using wheelchairs so that they're safe. You also want to be thinking about having a seating space for people with wheelchairs so that they're able to have maybe special seating so that they can be close enough to the stage to be able to see what's going on. Sometimes they're elevated seating where they have their own seating area reserved. Another thing to consider is making sure that the neighboring buildings are accessible and have elevators and also accessible bathrooms. Looking at the event itself, you want to make sure that there would be cart services so that you'd have real-time captioning being provided along with a sign language interpreter being present. This would really help this obviously makes it very accessible for the deaf and hard of hearing community. You also want to look at maybe providing outlines of the speeches in advance. That way people could look at the transcripts but beforehand or while the speech is being presented. Another thing to consider is just making sure that you're modifying any activities that family members or students will be taking part of so that you can make the visual or auditory components accessible so that everyone can participate. Helpful hint I thought in this article was putting large print programs so people with a visual impairment will be able to read the services that were being provided. And then thinking about the campus attitude toward people with disabilities and making sure that the campus is welcoming and that people know where the Disability Resource Center is on campus, and being able to meet with the DRC staff or Disabled Students Club to kind of know about their activities, and also maybe being able to discuss any accommodations that might be needed for people for graduation before the actual event. So that's why it's good to include and mention the Disability Resource Center in marketing material for graduation as well, or a phone number or someone that could be contacted regarding accommodations, and also listing what accommodations will be provided. And I thought it was a cool tip to also see if you could get ushers who would know about some of the equipment used as far as assistive listening devices and being able to help people with some of their assistive technology and offering headphones upon request. So those were some of the cool tips I found from this article, and I just wanted to share. Hope you're having a great day.